Dear students, today I will be handling a topic of Java. It's a very popular and interesting topic coming under module 3, and the topic is known exception handling. Before moving to exception handling topic, let us see what an exception is. An exception is an erroneous situation in a Java program. An erroneous situation in a Java program is known as exception. And what happens if an exception occurs? When an exception occurs, it disrupts the normal flow of instruction. So in Java, exception is treated as an event which occurs during the execution of the program, which may disrupt the normal flow of instruction. Whenever an exception occurs, the program gets terminated. And the program will get terminated and the programmer will get a system generated error message. So it's a good practice for a user to handle exception in Java, because Java got a very powerful exception handling mechanism. The programmer can handle exception. Let us see the difference between an error and an exception. Error indicates something severe which has gone wrong and the application will get crashed. Rather than try to handle the error, the programmer will not get any chance to handle the error. Before that, the application will get crashed and severe wrong things happens. Such situations are known as error situation. Whereas exception can be handled by the user or the programmer, and it can be possible to make necessary corrective and preventive action if an error or if an exception occurs in the code. Examples of popular exceptions are null pointer exception, which comes along with null pointers, null references, then arithmetic exception, which comes in the scenario like division by 0, array index out of bound exception, if the elements of the array out of its bounds, etc. Now let us see some popular scenarios where an exception occurs, the common scenarios where exception may occur. The first one is division by 0. We know that the arithmetic operation A by B will not be possible if B equal to 0. Means division by 0 is not allowed. If an integer value A having a division statement like 50 by 0, definitely you will get an arithmetic exception. If we illustrate the same program using Java program class, see, this is our exception demo class, public static void main. You are having a number 100 which can be divided by 0, and when you try to divide this number by 0, you will get an exception in the thread main. And the type of the exception is arithmetic exception, and the exception message is called a division by 0. And the exception occurs at line number 6. This is how your program statement looks like when you get an arithmetic exception. Next scenario is a null reference or the null pointer exception. Suppose we are having a string value s equal to null, and you try to print the length of the value, length of the string value s dot length. You will get a null pointer exception. Suppose instead of this null value, suppose s is having a value hello, s equal to hello, s dot length will return a value 5. Whereas when s points to null variable, you cannot find out the length value. You will get an exception called a null pointer exception. This is the program scenario. When s equal to null, system.out.println s dot length. Third one is number format exception. Number format exception. If I try to convert a string value to integer value using some built-in function integer.parsing, you will get a number format exception because of bad input format conversion. Okay, number format exception at line number 6. Finally, let us see an array index out of bound exception scenario. We are having having an integer array A with a index value 5. The maximum size of the array is 4. Index starts from 0. If you are trying to assign a of 10 equal to 50, you will get an array index out of bound exception. So, how we can handle this exception? Java provides a mechanism to handle exception. It is called exception handling. So, exception handling is a mechanism to handle all the exception. It's a very powerful mechanism, and the advantages of using this exception handling mechanism are the program flow doesn't break or stops when you get an exception. There are two types of exception. There are two types of exception, two category of exception. One is called a checked exception and another one is unchecked exception. Checked exception and unchecked exception. First one, checked exception. All exceptions other than runtime exceptions are known as checked exception. It is compiler checks them during compilation. Whether the programmer handles them or not, it is not a matter. It is this runtime exception will be checked during compilation. If these exceptions are not handled by the programmer, you will get compilation error or system generated error. Examples of popular checked exceptions are SQL exception, IO exception, class not found exception, etc. See, this is the popular naming convention used in Java. The exception classes are starting with the capital letter. See, class not found, 3 words are there. Class C capital, N capital, F capital. IO is an abbreviation, so I and O are capital letter. SQL is an abbreviation of structured query language, so S, Q and L are capital letter. These are examples of checked exception. Whereas the second one is unchecked exception. It is known as the runtime exception. It is familiar for the user. All the runtime exception. Such exceptions are not checked at compile time. Okay, it is the sole responsibility of the programmer to handle these type of exception and provide our programming to safe exit. This is sole responsibility of the programmer. Examples are all the arithmetic exception, number format exception, null pointer exception, array index out of bound exception, etc. are popular runtime exception or unchecked exception. Next is the exception class hierarchy. Always we know that in Java, everything is handled by classes. So for exception also, for exception as well as for error, there's a classes defined in Java. It is known as exception class as well as error class. And both error class and exception class having a parent class known as throwable class. Under exception class, runtime exceptions are there. Checked exceptions are directly handled by exception class. Okay, all unchecked exceptions are handled by runtime exception class. Next is the exception handling buzzwords. The 5 keywords which are used in the exception handling mechanism are try, catch, finally, throw, and throws. First one is try block. This is how a try-catch block in Java looks like. A try block followed by set of code statement that may throw exception and followed by a catch block with a parameter exception class object. So the try block contains a set of statements where an exception can occur. A try block is always followed by a catch block. The catch block handles the exception. It is the catch block handles the exception. All the erroneous situations or the set of statements where exception may occur, such statements are included within a try block. Syntax of try block is keyword try followed by open bracket followed by set of statements then close bracket. The next is catch block. The catch block, try block followed by catch block having exception class object as parameter. Having exception class object as parameter. A catch block is where you handle exception. A catch block is where you handle all the exception. This must be followed by a try block. It is compulsory. A single try block can have multiple catch blocks associated with it. You can catch different exceptions in different catch block. That is the scenario. Okay. Whenever there is an exception occurs, the corresponding catch block that handles the particular exception will get executed. Let us see how a catch block occurs. This is how. A try block followed by catch block, exception type 1. See, like example, catch arithmetic exception E1, catch null pointer exception E2, catch arithmetic, catch number format exception E3, catch exception E, etc. Finally, a set of block of code to be executed after the try block. The third keyword is actually finally. The statements present in this finally block will get executed regardless an exception occurs. Okay, so if whether this exception occurs or not, finally block will get executed. That is the use of finally block. Next, let us see an example. My first example is exception demo class. Main method public static void main. I'm taking two variables with the name first number and second number, and I'm going to perform a division operation with these two numbers. So there's a chance of exception if the first number is 0. So the first number equal to 0, second number equal to 62 by first number. See, there occurs a exception. So a particular corresponding catch block will be invoked. Catch arithmetic exception E will be handled, and you will get this message: you should not divide a number by 0. And after this try block ends, finally block gets executed. We know that from the second statement, actually control goes to catch block. It will not return to the next statement and it will run these two lines. No, it won't. After second statement, you got exception and corresponding catch block will get executed. So this system.out.println will be displayed and will come out of the try catch block, and finally statement will get executed. I hope it is clear. Then, as I mentioned before, multiple catch blocks are also possible. Multiple catch blocks are also possible. Look at this example. This is an integer array with index 5, and there's a chance of array index out of bound exception. So I'm catching array index out of bound exception E. And then suppose A of 10 equal to 50. Array index out of bound exception occurs, isn't it? So handle that exception, but one catch block is meant for that. And here there is a division by 0 operation. So definitely an arithmetic exception occurs. So arithmetic exception will be over. If any exception other than this arithmetic exception or array index out of bound exception, it will be handled by general class or my parent exception class. This is the parent exception catch part, catch exception E. After this try catch block, the next statement, the rest of the code will get executed. So multiple catch block is allowed. Then one more thing I'm going to add up to your knowledge. If I am taking this catch block and placing it here just after the try block, you will get an error, because these two catch block will not be placed after the parent exception class. Okay, we can write n number of catch block, and after completing all the catch blocks, you can provide a parent catch block, but the parent catch block cannot be, parent exception catch block cannot be placed as the first catch block. If you provide like that, you will get error. That also you remember. Next is nested try catch. A try catch consists of another try catch block. It is called a nested try catch. Look at this example or the syntax. A try block contains another try block. This try block again contain another set of try block. Each try block having a corresponding catch block. This try block having corresponding catch block. This try block having corresponding catch block. The outer try block having a corresponding catch block. This is also valid in Java. It is called a nested try catch block. Moving into more details, next keyword is throw. The fourth keyword in Java exception handling is throw. See, we can define our own set of exception. Our own set of exception. We can define our own set of conditions or rules and throw an exception. Throw a built-in exception. Okay, we can define our own conditions or rules and throw a built-in exception using throw keyword. Using throw keyword. It can be used for throwing custom exception also. For the time being, you please listen like this. We can define our own set of condition or rules and throw a built-in exception explicitly. It is done by the programmer. Programmer explicitly throw an exception from a method or any block of code. So syntax of throw keyword is throw new exception class my error message. Throw new arithmetic exception. Earlier we know that the default message of arithmetic exception is division by 0. See, I want to give another message. Dividing a number by 5 is not allowed in this program. I want to create an exception for this. Okay, and I'm calling that as arithmetic exception itself. Throw new arithmetic exception. How to throw exception in Java? This is an example. Suppose I am having a divide by 0 method. In the main method, I am invoking this method divide by 0, a static method. And within this divide by 0 method, I know that there is a chance of exception. Division by 0 occurs. So I am handling, I am throwing explicitly an arithmetic exception used by creating an instance of arithmetic exception class. By creating an instance of arithmetic exception class, throw new arithmetic exception trying to divide by 0. Okay, let us rework on our last example. In our last example, we have two numbers, first number and second number. Here the first number is 0. So definitely when you try to divide second number by first number, you will get a division by 0 operation, and definitely you will get an error. So before that error occurs, I will be handling that situation in advance. I'm checking whether the first number is equal to 0. If that condition is true, then I am throwing an arithmetic exception explicitly, and the exception message is division by 0 not possible. The corresponding catch block will get executed and program execution will not interrupt or stop. This is how. So before that exception occurs, see, actually this exception will occur in this line. We are handling that exception in advance using throw keyword. That is the case. Okay, next we can see what is throws. See, in using throw statement, actually we have handled all the exceptional situation in a block of code or a set of program statement. Suppose I want to handle the exception in a method. I want to make precaution to handle the exception in a method. In the method signature itself, I can use the keyword throws. And moreover, I can handle listed type of exception. More than one listed type of exception in a single line. Okay, look at this example. I'm having a method called my method. I'm try catch block. It consists of multiple catch blocks, arithmetic and a null pointer exception. So definitely I know that there's a chance of arithmetic exception as well as null pointer exception in this situation. And I'm going to throw arithmetic and a null pointer exception using throws keyword like this. See, along with the method signature, I am throwing exception. So whenever any programmer or any class or any method which calls the my method, will be placed in a try-catch block. See that this try-catch block actually protect my method from all these two type of exception. All these two type of exception. Then let us see another example. Suppose I am having a divide method. Public static int divide two integer variables a and b, which throws arithmetic exception because whenever the b value is 0, it cannot perform this return a by b operation because it throws exception. So in advance, the method itself I have prevented from arithmetic exception using throws keyword. So divide 10 comma 5 and divide 10 comma 0. The first operation will give the result 2 and the second operation will give the value an exception, and e dot get message will display division by 0 message, and 100 by 5 again it will give you the result 20. Okay, this is how it handles all the arithmetic exception using throw. So along with the method signature, we can handle the exception. Along with the method signature. The question, very important question also. Difference between throw and throws. Java throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. Using instance, by creating an instance of an exception class, we can use throw keyword. Whereas Java throws keyword actually declaring an exception. We are declaring an exception. Along with the method, we are telling that there's a chance of exception occurs in this method. Okay, so we are declaring an exception. The other one, we are explicitly throwing an exception. Then throws always followed by instance, whereas throws is followed by class name. Throws is used within a method, within a program statement, within a block of code, whereas throws is used along with the method signature. Using throw, we cannot throw multiple exception. Okay, throw new arithmetic exception. Once again, you have to write throw new null pointer exception, throw new number format exception. Whereas we can declare multiple exception in using throws. Throws, arithmetic exception, comma, IO exception, comma, SQL exception, comma, class not found exception, comma, number format exception, etc. And finally, checked exception cannot be propagated using throw, and checked exception can be propagated using throws. We are moving to the end of the exception handling mechanism. The last type of exception handling is custom exception. If you are creating your own exception, that is known as custom exception or user-defined exception. If you are creating your own exception, the programmer is going to create your own exception known as custom exception. Okay, Java custom exceptions are used to customize the exception according to user need. We can create our own exception. We can provide our own error message. Let me take an example of checking whether an age value is valid or not. For doing some registration, the age value should be within a range 12 to 60. And I want to handle an exception called the age exception if this age value is not ineligible. Okay, so we need to write a main class for testing this age exception. So this exception example, the exception class is called the age exception class. In order to make this age exception class as an exception class, you need to extend exception to this class. Then I want to provide my own error message, so that message will be given using the string message. My age exception will provide some error message. That message will be displayed to the user during runtime. Okay, in order to display that message, I will be invoking get message method from my program, from my test method. Okay, public string get message will be invoked during runtime. So this is how I will be doing this age exception class. And for running this program, I'm taking another custom, for testing this custom exception, I'm taking a class custom one main method, taking some age value from the keyboard. Okay, I'm taking some input age value from the keyboard. And I want to throw age exception under this condition. If the age value is between 12 and 60, it is okay, it is eligible. And registration can be done and you can provide a thank you message. If the age value is between these two, 12, less than 12 and greater than 60, the user is not eligible for registration and error message will be displayed. See, here I called invoked e.get message. It will take this not eligible message and will be displayed over runtime. Enter age value if it is 12. Enter an age value. If it is 10, 12. Yes, if it is equal to 12, then also will throw exception. An exception age not eligible. You are providing a value 35. It is between 12 and 60, isn't it? So registration done and a thank you message will be displayed. Okay, that's all about custom exception. Okay, thank you.